Well, hey everyone. I know not everybody was able to make the lunch a few weeks ago. You had lots of stuff on, and I appreciate those who were able to make it on a relatively short basis. But I just want to take a moment to highlight a few of the things I talked about for those of you who weren't able to make it. First, I just want to say a huge thank you to you guys, everyone who helps on a week-to-week basis in either the VIP or the cafe or the ushers and greeters. You guys are awesome, and it's just been such an honor to get to know you guys a little bit, to work alongside of you, and to see how you make people feel welcome. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do. I also want to just say how much I think this ministry is so incredibly important when it comes to the mission and vision of the Bridge. We talk all the time about wanting to reach the unchurched and dechurched people in our community. And the fact is, when you're unchurched and dechurched, you come into church with apprehensions. You come in with reservations. You come in not knowing what to expect. And you probably have all sorts of walls built up inside of you. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you guys are the first kind of line of defense in that area. You guys, week after week after week, help make people feel welcome, help make them feel valuable, help make them feel like they are a part of something bigger than themselves, help them feel loved. And in doing that, you help break down those walls inside of them. It's not the message, it's not the music, or at least it's not entirely those things, but you are the very first interactions they have with the Bridge when they step onto our property. And you help break down those barriers every single week. And hopefully, little bit by little bit by little bit, they'll have an incredible experience. And they'll be able to have God work with them in an incredibly powerful way. Something you'll hear me say over and over again is, we can't make anybody fall in love with Christ, but we can set up a lot of great dates. And I truly believe that. Sure, we'd love to just have everyone who we love and care about fall in love with Christ. But the fact is, that's just not the way it goes. But what we can do is set up great date after great date after great date. And what you do every week is help set up those great dates so that hopefully they will one day fall in love with their Savior. So a big, huge thank you. I hope you know how important your role is. Never, ever think it is just about shaking hands. Never think it is just about putting a program in someone's hands. Those are so far down the list. You make people feel welcome, and you help break down barriers. So a huge, incredible thank you to you. One of my pet peeves, and it's been this way for years, is when people think, oh, anybody can shake a hand. Just if someone asks to volunteer, the easy thing to do is put them on a door. You know, if they don't have any discernible skills, you know, they can make a cup of coffee, they can shake someone's hand, stick them at guest services. And I think that is just so incredibly missing the point. I have seen this done well, and when it's done well, it is powerful. One of the first places I saw this done well was actually in a church in London, Ontario. It's when I was dating Violet, and we would go to a church in the evenings. It was a Saturday evening service, and they had a couple thousand people at this church, multiple services, as I say, one on Saturday evenings. They had no idea, you know, these two people who come once every few months, they had no idea who we were. There's no chance they had any idea who we were. But there was this guy who's probably in his 70s, probably mid-70s, who when he shook your hand, when he greeted you, he really made you feel welcome. You know, he smiled, he gave you a good handshake, he leaned in, and he made you feel like he was waiting just for you. You know when you've gone to church and you're waiting for a friend to show up to church or a family member is visiting, and you wait by the door and you grab them and bring them in and show them around. Well, that's how he made every single person feel who walked through that door. So I've seen guest services done well, and I've seen it done poorly. And I believe so much when it's done well, it can be incredibly powerful. So I am so excited to start in really just a couple weeks, officially start anyway, being a part of this team and being a part of the guest services ministry at the Bridge. So thank you for letting me be a part of it as well. As some of you know, the staff, both current staff and the staff coming on, have had the opportunity to do some training with a church called Connexus in Barrie. We started with them a few months ago, being a partner church of theirs. An incredible church who has 3 locations now. They're looking at launching a couple more, and they really focus on unchurched and de-churched people. So it's an wonderful opportunity for us to learn from them and hopefully go further faster. But we've had the opportunity to train with them, and they've said some incredible things already that have stuck with me. I want to share just two with you right now. The first was the fact that every Sunday is somebody's first Sunday. And that's such an important thing to think about. When we think of our church, or any church really, when you're there week after week after week, of course, there's going to be Sundays that are amazing and you're like, oh, just absolutely incredible. And there's Sundays that hopefully aren't bad, but they weren't that level. And so there's better Sundays and worse Sundays. But the fact is, there's people who are going to come to our church, and church our size, it really is, that there's going to be someone new every Sunday. They might be checking out our church, or heaven forbid, they're just checking out God, and they're giving God one chance. They're giving our church just one chance. So we don't have the opportunity, we don't have the luxury of having a bad Sunday. No matter what's going on in our own personal lives, no matter, what kind of chaos happens before, and things aren't working, and there's difficulties, and, someone didn't tear down or set up something, and all that kind of chaos that can go on a Sunday morning. We have to make sure every Sunday is incredible, because every Sunday is somebody's first Sunday. And even when, we don't have someone go to the VIP desk and get their gift and sign on the card, I know for a fact there's people who have been here who haven't done that for one reason or another. But every Sunday is somebody's first Sunday. We don't have the luxury of getting it wrong, having it go poorly, because every single week somebody's checking us out. Every single week somebody is checking out God out. And they might be just be giving it one shot. It might be their very one and only opportunity to connect. And we have an opportunity to do great things with that. But we have to make sure that we are thinking that, oh, well, maybe next Sunday is better, or a Sunday down the road is going to be a good one. No, we have to make sure that each and every Sunday is amazing for those who are coming into our building, because each and every Sunday is someone's first Sunday, and they might just be given it one chance. So that's something that really stood out with me when we were talking about it as a team. The other thing we talked about, there was kind of actually an offhanded comment by their lead pastor at Connexus, and he said something that really stood out with me, though. I wrote it down and I just underlined it, and I think it is absolutely amazing. You've heard me say it a few times in some emails, maybe face-to-face. I made a little poster about it, put it in our boardroom, but it was, don't just meet expectations, exceed them. And I thought that was just so great. Don't just meet expectations, it wasn't just exceed them, is blow them away. Don't just meet expectations, blow them away. And I thought that was so great. What if we didn't meet people's expectations, but we blew them away? When I think about, things we talk about, it really falls into two categories: the amazing and the horrible, right? I mean, if it's a book we read, or a movie we went to, or restaurant or vacation, we talk about two experiences. We talk about the experience that was just absolutely incredible and we loved it, and you got to experience this yourself. You got to go check out that movie, got to go read that book, got to go eat here. We talk about those great experiences. The other ones we talk about are the really bad ones. The ones that are absolutely horrible, like, oh, don't go here, don't do this, don't read that, don't watch that. It's a bad experience. Don't do it. The mediocre, the middle, the ones that don't really go to one end or the other, we don't talk about. We only talk about the amazing or the horrible. So when I think about, people coming into our church, hopefully they have such an amazing experience that they want to come back and they want to bring some friends with them. That's what I hope is going to happen. But that's not going to happen if it's horrible. And it's not even going to happen if it's a mediocre. The only time that's going to happen is if it's incredible. So my hope is that week after week after week, we would help make incredible experiences for the people who come in our doors. We would help break down those barriers. We'd help them experience Christ in an incredible way. And we'd help them just be blown away. I know there's people, I've already heard stories of people who have come to this church, just checking it out, who have loved the warm and inviting and welcoming atmosphere that they experienced. And as a result, they just love our church. They want to get baptized. They want to connect and dive deeper into this whole God thing. And it really started because you made them feel welcome. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for blowing people away. And I just hope that that would be our anthem, that we wouldn't just meet expectations, we would blow them away. I want to blow people away every week with how amazingly welcoming, how much they are loved, how much they are cared for. We want them to feel that. Whether it's just giving them some extra attention, showing them extra love, showing them around the building instead of just pointing in an area, whether it's running out to the parking lot with an umbrella when it's raining out. I want to blow them away week after week, and I hope you will come on that journey with me. We will blow people away week after week so they can experience God in a powerful way, and that they would love their experience here at the Bridge. The other part I think is so important is I see guest services really as the kind of the first line of defense. As I said, not only for the people who are coming to the door, but our job is to help think like those people. When people are going to come into our church for the very first time, especially unchurched and de-churched people, what are they going to think? What are they going to be wondering about? I want us to be the very first people, and quite frankly, the best people at thinking like the unchurched and de-churched person would be. So that means, do they know where to park? Do they know where the washrooms are? Do they know where the kids area is? Do they know there's coffee? Do they know how to get there? Do they know they're able to bring coffee into the auditorium? Do they know who to talk to about these things? Do they know where to go if they have a question? All these types of things I want us to be the absolute best at, because I want us to always be thinking, what is that unchurched and de-churched person going to be thinking when they come in? I want to be asking those questions now and expecting them so we can make adjustments so that when they come in, they already know. They already know. They see, it's quite clear where the washrooms are, where the kids area is, or, whatever questions they might have. I want us to be thinking about that ahead of time, and I want us to be really that first line of defense and thinking how they would think. So I am so excited to be part of this ministry, and I know this. I thank you for taking the time to watch this video, but I'm just so excited, and I can't wait to jump in with 2 feet into this area. I think it's such an pivotal role in our church, and I think we have some amazing things that are going to happen here at the Bridge, and I am so excited to be a part of it, and I hope you are too, and I just hope you, with me, will help blow people away every single week.